We are back with 428 Shibuya Scramble, and we're going for alternate endings and perhaps some pop quiz stuff. This game has a whole bunch of post-game things, but I believe getting extra endings can also bring us someplace new. So let's take a look. First thing I want to do is hit up Cano at his first opportunity. Where do we have a choice? Let's do this. There were detectives. Maybe I should meet with Shizuo, I guess? No, I've got a job to focus on. Yeah. Well, I don't know, I get the feeling this is something I was supposed to have, like, I am supposed to do this, but at the same time... Yeah, there is a break over here. So how do I interrupt him? That's my question. Is it with Achi? I wonder. Messing up with those loan sharks. Winterburn, yes, the pop quiz did tell us things to do. And that was to unlock further pop quiz stuff. Maybe if I choose the wrong thing with Achi. And I go back to Cano. Yeah, maybe that won't matter. I don't know. I'll stare him down. I don't think this matters at all. Yeah, that does not seem to matter. That leads all the way to be continued, which is kind of interesting because then it implies like it messed the entire thing up. So I gotta go back to Achi. This is one thing that's so frustrating about having beaten the game is maybe this is my problem. Is that I gotta go back and find out what everything was supposed to be. Like I'm supposed to Oh, that's a good point, Dragon Ace. That guy on the train was the Pocket Watch guy. I didn't think about that. But I gotta, like, find out how everything was before I started playing the game, which is a little frustrating. There, that should be good. But what about this first option? About finding an opening? I gotta find a way to interfere with what Cano does. Yeah, maybe if I do one of these, the wrong ends with Achi. So when that doesn't work, maybe now I go back to Cano and see what happens. It doesn't seem to matter, unfortunately. I don't know. This is already frustrating. Because what I'm looking for is, damn, is this when I first start playing with, like, Minorikawa, for example? I don't remember this. Ugh, like, should I start a new game to do the correct order for this? Because I don't know. This can get annoying. That didn't matter. I don't think. Alsawa has a gap. I don't know, it's a pain in the ass, like, undoing the correct path. That doesn't seem to matter either for Osawa. Maria, whoa, spoilers. That didn't matter. Damn, what am I supposed to do to get the Cano thing? Because it's telling me for the wrong end, I should select no right now. Like I can't meet with Shizuo and then go to the train thing. But how do I mess up the train thing? That's what I want to know. Like, Maria is in a whole different universe. I really wonder if I should just start like a new game and play in the order the guide wants me to, which is a pain in the ass. I'll do the taxi thing with Minorikawa, I suppose. Yeah, Fakafan, bad end hunting sucks. And Dragon Ace, I could go backwards for bad ends, but I would have the same exact trouble that I am now. And also, I think I'm going to still want things to be appropriate for going for the true end when I'm looking for the true end, so I still have to correct everything, which is a pain in my ass. Like, I don't see it going to a bad end for Cano, which is seriously annoying. I don't even know. Hello there, Wolfpack leaders. If I can't find a solution quickly, I might just get lazy and do the pop quiz, because this is more irritating than it's worth. Because, like, the guide assumes that I'm playing the game for the very first time, so it's like, for a bad end, select Cano, and select no, right now, and it's like, I don't freaking know. And yeah, Winterburn, finding a guide in this game is quite difficult. Like, I found one, but it doesn't work for, like, retroactive. It doesn't tell me all the settings. It just assumes that the game is for the very first time. Wolfpack leader, how long is 428? I don't know. Like, I'm reading it out loud, so it's longer than normal. Have the taxi wait? Maybe that's what I want. There, wait here, I'll be right back. Let's do that. All I want is a bad end for Cano, and it's surprisingly hard to make that happen. I got this first try. I get the feeling the bad end's in here somewhere. I just chose to have the taxi wait thing. Aboard the train. Oops. I should have gone to In Cahoots. I'll do the stare him down option or whatever. I don't think this matters, though. Or look away nonchalantly. Who cares? I don't know. It is surprisingly... Yeah, Sasayama. It is surprisingly difficult to get a bad end. Like, what am I supposed to do and undo? The Yakuza-looking guys definitely leads to a wrong thing, so I'll try that. I'll help them out after all. I'll screw up the timeline, it's fine. But this still doesn't seem to help. Because now I've botched everything. That's it to be continued, though. That doesn't help. Minorikawa's at a keep out. That doesn't much seem to matter, though. And Osawa has, like, a guaranteed bad end. So does Tama, so, like, good? But where's my bad end? I'll do the other gunman thing, I guess. Oh, that's right. I remember lunging forward was what got me killed, right? There we go. So that leads to a bad end for Achi. That's fine. There. Now, Cano? It just leads to bad ends. No, Meowington, it just says for the bad end, select Cano, select no, right now, which I did. And then the next thing it says, do whatever you want for the next choice. So, like, I've done that. Head to the cafe. No, right now I gotta do something. And then for the train, do whatever I want. And that's not leading me to an end. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. This is a choice that I doubt matters. I'm stuck in the cat costume. And this was just like who to choose, and it really doesn't matter. I'll choose somebody else. Why not? Maybe that'll make all the difference. Perhaps it was the disheveled fellow on my right. Boom, did it. I miss this music. Hey look, it's an Ayakamiki poster. Anyway. Here we go. Who would have guessed that actually mattered? Jeez, unreal. Cano decided to stare him down or look away, or I don't know. He decided to look away, but his anxiety got the better of him, and after a moment he turned his gaze right back. Soon the two men were locked in a staring contest. Ah, my apologies, the man said, and he shut his phone with a click. I know it's rather rude to talk on one's cell phone when you're on a train. There it is! That's just common decency. Hey, quiz from several streams ago solved. That's where he mentioned it. Hey! The man affected a smile, then headed back to the car from which he'd come. But wait. Sheesh. Guess I overreacted. You gotta stop staring at everyone. An oddly dressed passenger murmured into Kano's ear. Blend into your surroundings more. Sasayama, when did you get here? His partner had somehow found time to change his disguise. The steely expression on his face was at odds with his anime nerd getup. Cano had seen Sasayama disguise himself as plenty of things throughout the years. It's quite rare for Sasayama to actually wear a suit. On the rare occasions when he does, and he's walking the halls of his home precinct, he frequently goes unrecognized. Here are some of Sasayama's costume designs from his evidence notebook. Santa is a must for Christmas. Stakeouts with a smile. Keep presents in bag to calm down children in case of emergency. Alright. Oh my god, this is amazing. I can pause too. Use this for train stakeouts. Don't forget awkward smile. Bag of merch. Going too far? Fill with posters and figurines. Glasses are crucial. Prized possession, clutch the chest. Point is to draw attention in crowded train cars. Tragic expression. Sunglasses. Suit and posture amplify wild animal side. Disguise for stakeouts at dockside warehouses. Let coworkers know beforehand so as not to be mistaken for real thing. La! Handcuffs up sleeves. Arrest crooks while practicing discipline. Might help to stop funeral robbers? What? For nighttime stakeouts. Plenty of exposure. Hardcore material. Emphasize bulginess in final version. Jesus. Sasayama is a legend. Chef, magician, samurai, and an astronaut to name a few. But this was a new extreme even for him. An astronaut? When he first joined the force, Cano had found Sasayama's costuming antics amusing, wondering where he managed to find his outfits, but lately his quirk had become tedious. You like the ocean? Huh? Never mind. Okay. Sasayama pulled a small bottle from his breast pocket. Oh. Drink this while you can. Guessing you haven't eaten. Oh no. Huh? What's this? The least I could do. He handed Cano the bottle and slipped away into the next compartment. Oh no, we haven't eaten though? Oh no! He'd pulled an all-nighter and hadn't eaten, so he was glad to have something. He took a sip. Whatever this was, it was bland. It almost didn't taste like anything. Just what had Sasayama given him? Ah, what the heck. Anything's better than nothing. He brought the bottle to his lips and chugged the contents down. Yup. He suddenly got a massive head rush. He felt a heat like a burning that spread from his insides throughout his whole body. No, that wasn't right. It was an ache. It was a ferocious ache. A burning that spread from his insides to his fingertips. And there was pain. A numbing that spread from his insides all the way down to his toes. Burning, aching, hurting. Burning, aching, hurting. Burning, aching, hurting. Twitchy, izzy, itchy, dizzy, sleepy, chilly, Willy-nilly. Itchy, tasty. This was not good. This was super duper not good. He broke into a cold sweat, his forehead drenched, his body damp and clammy all over. He felt his grip on consciousness slipping. Sasayama, what the hell did you do to me? With bleary eyes, he squinted to read the writing on the bottle. B-U-R-N? After a scant few letters, Cano blacked out. That is a stupid ending. Wow, thanks for that. The least he could do. Cano blacked out after drinking an unknown substance without checking to see what it was. What he drank, it turns out, was a free sample of something called Burning Hammer, but don't blame Sasayama. He was just passing along the sample he got from someone in a mascot costume. Yeah, I didn't realize that was Sasayama the whole time. Hey there, Living Corpse. Well, that is a stupid bad end. At least it's not like Minurakawa, where he just explodes and beats the crap out of everybody. Alright, well now I know I better not give it to the homeless guy, because that was Sasayama. What a disguise. Businessman. Yeah, that is Sasayama. Wow, it's hard to tell. Clever. Okay. I need a new bad end now. So that still leads to a bad end. I gotta undo things with Achi. Let's realign the timeline. Grabbed the Tomi and ran. That's the safe way. Tama's still at a bad end, though. What's up with that? Clearly there's something else I gotta do. I thought I saw... Oh, no! It's the loan sharks. That's right. The Yakuza looking guys. Let's make this right. There we go. That ought to do it. And just like that, we are back in place, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it. So, Winterburn, how many bad ends do we have left? I don't know, but I think it's a lot. Oh, whoops, I have to actually go into the screen. I forgot. Let's go into this one. This one looks like the screen for me. Okay, so bad ending list. So the last bad end I got was 8. Now what am I missing? Well, 35, there's no way we're going that high here. This block only goes up to 16, so Cano is good. We're done with Cano except for manipulating for other stories. 28, we're good. 12, that looks like a winner. Let me see if there's anyone before that. I see 13, I see 15. So I got 11 then? Where's 11? Oh, okay, I got 11. Hooray. Alright, so I want 12 and 13, it looks like. So... Once again, though, I think I gotta... Damn. I think I actually do need to go back to Achi and, get those thugs going. A pain in my ass. Alright, fine. Let's go. Oh, that's right, because these thugs were looking for Yanagishi-ta, weren't they? So, yeah, now Tama should be at a bad end no matter what, right? No, but that's the shifts over bad end. I don't want that. Huh. Yeah, I don't want the shifts over bad end. I want a different thing. Huh. Maybe I'll do the other Achi thing? I don't know how much that would matter, though. Because I need something to interfere before 11:15. But I thought the thugs were the only guys who could interfere. This is at 11:15. That I don't think would matter. Huh. Because apparently from this point it shouldn't matter. I don't think Cano could do anything that would really interfere. Maybe I'll choose the wrong option for heading to the cafe? There. So we do that. How's Maria looking? Still looking good. So clearly I need to do something different. Well, Minorikawa cuts right off. You know what? Let's go to Minorikawa right now. Maybe I can get a sneaky bad end. Because this is apparently new. Winterburn, at this point, just like scrap it all and just play with the walkthrough. Yeah, honestly, Meowington, for alternate endings, like there's a way to set up for alternate endings. Minorikawa's Frantic Journey. What? Oh, we must have got... Did we get that bad ending already? Huh. I'll cut to the, Toyama, I guess. The only thing I could do is die when Toyama's calling. I guess I'll skip to that. The only thing I can do now is die. The taxi lurched to a sudden stop as the driver slammed on the brakes. Minorikawa pitched forward, his face smacking against the back of the seat in front of him. Oh, Winterburn, you're actually not advocating that? Fair enough. Kimizuka stuck his head out the window. Careful, buddy, he shouted at someone on the street ahead. You're gonna get yourself killed. Minorikawa blinked the stars from his eyes and saw a man moving alongside the cab. The guy grabbed onto the handle of the back door. Please, I need you to let me have this cab. No way, Minorikawa snapped. Just who did this guy think he was? Please, I'm begging you here. Oh yeah, we saw this with Cano. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please, this is really, really urgent. Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. The guy did look pretty desperate. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm dealing with something urgent here, too. Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future's on the line here. The guy sure was persistent. Maybe he was telling the truth, but Minorikawa had problems of his own. Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end, too. And it actually is. I gotta look after me and mine. Right. So sorry to trouble you. Finally, the guy gave up and shuffled away. Guess it couldn't have been that much of a life-ending crisis after all. Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. Damn it! That just cost us 5 minutes! I'll try to make it up, sir, the driver called back. The taxi lurched into motion, the engine quickly revving up to speed. Is this where we, like, hit Achi or something? Whoa! Once inside the building, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of 4-star General Gossip on the 4th floor. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and then kicked the door in. Whoa! The sight as he stepped into the office filled him with horror. Is it the hanging thing for the 100th time? Ugh, we gotta stop doing this. With the organ music. Minorikawa clutched the sides of his head. I'm too late. Hey there, Michael. We gotta stop getting these freaking endings. Oh no! If only I'd gotten here a little sooner. Bad end. Well, that's a new one. Just 5 minutes. Minorikawa rushed to Heaven Publishing as fast as he could, but he didn't get there in time to save Toyama, and, sad to say, it was really all Kano's fault. Why does Cano want a taxi so badly? Check his 11:10's timestamp, and the situation might become clearer. There we go, did it! We got a new bad end. So I wasn't looking for this one, but this actually was the next one I was going to look for anyway, so good for me? But, how do I mess up Tama's bad end? Screw it. I'm doing pop quiz now. I will actually start a new file to get these other endings. It's just a real pain in the ass that It doesn't tell me configurations for wrong endings. Alright, pop quiz time. How utterly disappointing.
行きましょう。第4問。
So fill in the blank. You're the one making the blah argument here. Take that. So in this one, it's going to be extreme. Where's the... How do I okay? Start? Yeah, confirm. Did it. Wow, I got it. The Kinder Partners. I forgot about these kids. Excuse me? Do you have a moment? Tape recorder in hand, Chiaki called out to a pair of young girls who were standing by the statue of Hachiko. Each girl carried a lollipop half the size of her face. Meowington, regarding the non-vengeful choices on the block, I really don't feel like searching through every single choice and seeing what's what. Like, I'm just going by a guide here. What do you two think about Shibuya? The girls looked at one another. Do you not understand the question? Chiaki pressed. The children slowly licked away at their candy. Not really, one of them said at last. Chiaki was taken aback by the girls' grown-up tone. Yeah? Yeah. The girls nodded at one another, their faces disapproving. Huh? Chiaki was confused. What's going on? Do we know you, lady? Huh? Ugh. See, this is why people keep saying that adults nowadays have no common sense. Yeah, ease off on the small talk. It was the first time we've even met, after all. Didn't your mom teach you any manners? Jeez. Chiaki took a step backwards and wrapped her arms around herself as the children stared at her coldly. I'm sorry to have upset you? Ah, it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Oh, thanks, DJ Gamer, checking like a Steam forum for this stuff. Being treated like a child by small children made Chiaki blush bright red from embarrassment. Their arrogant reproach left her too flustered to fully process the situation. So what's up? One of the girls went on. Excuse me? Chiaki said warily. You were asking about Shibuya? Wow, this is, like, super awkward. I'm kind of amused by this. Yes, of course. Recoiling some more under the children's gaze, Chiaki chose her words very carefully. So, what do you two think about the city of Shibuya? Perhaps? The pair quickly lowered their eyes, their expressions forlorn. That's probably not a good sign. It used to be so nice way back when. What are they, like 5 years old? What even is this? Way back? Just when was way back for these two? Nowadays Shibuya has gotten all dead quiet. Yeah, used to be back in the day you could just stand around here and see something interesting go down, day in and day out. Chiaki was utterly dumbfounded by the girl's ostensible worldliness. She listened in fascination as they continued. Yeah, but even that was maybe something that's sorta hinged on your mood. I hear ya. Maybe it's just her mindset that's changed, that's all. What is happening? So I'm guessing you got tests coming up? Yeah, my mom just will not shut up about nagging me to study. I'm about to start practicing for interviews myself. Oh, it's too early for that. Besides, if anyone messes up the real thing, it's the parent. At some point, Chiaki become a bystander to the girls steering back and forth. Man, I wish I had more freedom to do stuff. I started taking piano lessons to help with the enrollment test, too. What? Guess you'll never wind up rich if you don't go all out. I hate money. Rich people always have these awful sunken-in faces. Yeah, a while back I saw a father and son buying an entire box of trading cards, and they both looked hideous. Yikes. It's kind of a sad story, though. The kid looked like he really wanted something else instead. That's the impression I got, anyway. And as usual, the parent was completely oblivious? Yeah, and so the kid had to put on his fake smile of appreciation and everything. I know how that goes. Chiaki felt increasingly inclined to leave, but she wasn't sure how to do so gracefully. Parents these days, she reflected, were foisting off an awful lot of things onto their children. They seemed completely ignorant of how much of a burden was too much. As she stood vacillating, the conversation continued. But yeah, when our kindergarten teacher plays the organ, there's some real soul to it. It's so moving. Oh, I love her organ playing. Even if it doesn't have anything to do with test prep, you need to learn how to play an instrument. Yeah, maybe I ought to change up my way of life. What is happening? Hey there, Galleon. Chiaki began to feel ashamed of herself, ashamed that she'd been so simple in her thinking as to expect this interview to be easy. These kids were having a really tough time with things. Feeling pathetic for her own shallow short-sightedness, Chiaki sank down to the pavement. "Whoa, hey lady, what's the matter?" one of the girls asked. "Hey there, Kent." Chiaki hung her head. "You got a tummy ache? Want some of this?" The other girl held out a lollipop. No, it's not that." Chiaki was only barely managing to contain her tears. "Are you worried this interview's not going well?" "You shouldn't let it get to you. It's not the end of the world or anything." The cheer on the girls' faces brought Chiaki a small flush of consolation. "Yeah, keep your chin up. We can keep going with the interview. We can talk about whatever." "There's this place I grab food from a lot that my mom doesn't know about. Maybe we could talk there. They got these stupid tasty agar jelly strips." "Yeah, my mom tells me I shouldn't spend too much on snacks, but you gotta sneak a little of that into your routine." The two girls gently patted Chiaki atop the head. She could tell it just wasn't gonna be her day. Man, that was weird. Did you enjoy our tale of these precocious preschoolers? None of us can go back to our childhoods, but we can give you some good hints. In Achi's story, in the 15 o'clock time block, Achi and Hitomi are flagged down by Minorikawa. Take a close look after that. This path leads to a bad ending, so the clue might be tough to spot. Have fun looking for it. See you next time. Whoa. That was way out there. Okay. Wow. Well then. Hooray.
さあ、第5問。
Okay, what? Oh, Hitomi's blood type. Well, this should be an easy one, right? It's just like... Bombay? Yeah, Bombay. Oops. How do I go back? There. Oh, Miku, cool. A straight right came her way, just as she let down her guard. The blow caught her on the chin, and for an instant she saw white. As she was driven back against the mesh cage, a knee strike hurtled toward her. She managed to change positions just in time to dodge, then close distance with her opponent. Man, she's tough, Miku thought to herself. Bride's open-weight champion, Crybaby Mizuho, was a dyed-in-the-wool, tried-and-true fighter. One of Miku's eyelids felt like it was badly swollen. She was having a hard time seeing. Mizuho's hardy frame was little more than a blur, and the punch Miku had just taken had left her distinctly unsteady. What if this other woman rushed and tackled her? No doubt Miku would wind up down on the mat, where she'd be pummeled over and over. Or perhaps her opponent would instead make use of her expert footwork to deal out some more precision strikes. With the hurt Miku had already taken, dealing with that would be difficult as well. Miku was in a proverbial corner. Oh, how she wanted to just drive a fist right into Mizuho's big mouth. What are you gonna do, Miku? Did you come this far just to lose? Mizuho closed the gap. Her 180cm tall, 80kg frame came charging in. A thin smile showed on her doughy face. Miku had first seen Mizuho fight 1 year earlier. Her face radiated weakness, and she cried when she got hit. Oh god. Hence her nickname, Crybaby Mizuho. But through her tears, Mizuho fought desperately, managing in the end to pull off a joint lock that won her the match. The crowd went absolutely wild at the Crybaby fighter's underdog victory, but Miku was not convinced by Mizuho's performance. Mizuho was assuredly much stronger than she'd seemed. She'd taken karate lessons at a local dojo up through middle school. She'd been in her high school intramural wrestling team, and lately she had taken up jujutsu. There was no way a woman like that could be such a crybaby. She'd been fighting at half her potential in order to make things more fun for the audience. Miku knew that, since the matches at Bride were part of the spectacle, making things fun for the customers was important. Even so, she wanted to see the champion fight at her full strength, and so she'd fought her way up the ladder to get that chance. After winning the match that put her in position for a shot at the title, Miku had grabbed the microphone and shouted to both Mizuho and the crowd, "Mizuho, next time you're fighting me, and we're fighting for real." Afterwards, the manager had been furious. By saying fighting for real, you made it sound like the other matches here at Bride are all fixed. It was true that the matches were indeed for real, with no outcome decided ahead of time. But Mizuho's crybaby persona was just an act, even if it was an entertaining one, and she spent the first part of each of her fights putting out a lot of fake tears. Miku scowled at the manager. I don't want to fight crybaby Mizuho, I want to fight Mizuho. I want a fight that's full force from the get-go. You dumbass, roared the manager. Take one look at her. Among the slender-framed fighters on Bride's roster, Mizuho stood out as bulging and burly. And not even by the most charitable standards in the world could her face be called pretty. Mizuho's on the roster in the first place because of her crybaby character. If she gave that up, she'd be giving up her position at Bride. Miku felt silent. Was getting a legit fight out of Mizuho impossible then? She fretted anxiously about it until the title match finally came. Yeah, DJ Gamer Meowington, I can give the epilogue choices again just to see what happens. Once the fight started, though, the other woman in the octagon was no crybaby. Mizuho unleashed a mighty punch the instant the gong sounded, and the blow hit Miku like nothing she'd felt before. The impact shocked her even through her guard. Mizuho then shot forward like a rocket, tackling Miku against the cage. Miku clung to her tightly to avoid being taken to the mat. Mizuho whispered into her ear, "You wanted a real fight? Challenge accepted." Mizuho released her, then retreated to the center of the octagonal ring. Then she held out one hand, gesturing as if to say, "Bring it on." A confused uproar rose from the crowd. This wasn't how things usually went. Miku could feel every cell in her body jumping for joy. Yeah! And she rushed at Mizuho with all her might. But the match quickly developed into a rather one-sided affair. Soon Miku was struggling just to avoid getting KO'd too quickly. Her opponent was strong, stronger than she'd imagined. Mizuho grinned as she charged forward, and Miku was out of options. Was the bigger woman coming in for a tackle? As soon as Miku prepared to defend against the tackle, a wide hook came her way instead. She barely managed to deflect it. Then Mizuho rooted her feet and launched into a flurry of punches. Miku was astounded by the fury of the attack. The champion threw punch after punch without bothering to guard herself. Finally, Miku was able to follow up with a single counterpunch of her own. She landed a clean hit right on the bridge of Miku's nose. A stream of blood poured out from one nostril. With a gleeful grin, Mizuho stuck out her tongue and lapped at her own blood, and then she set her feet once more and threw another punch. The powerful blow clipped Miku in the temple and her head reeled. Enraged, Miku retaliated with a punch of her own. Neither of the two budged as they traded blows. Before long, amidst the cheers, Miku and Mizuho were merely pummeling each other. There was no skill, no technique, just two bulls butting heads. Miku's molars clattered, her lungs felt like they might burst. She was at her body's limit. Just a little longer. It was hopeless, she knew that, but she had to hang in there. Just one more punch, she told herself again and again. Just one more punch. Only halfway conscious, she continued battering back at her opponent. There was an especially loud cheer from the crowd, and then suddenly, someone grabbed Miku from behind. "Stop! Stop!" It was the referee. Mizuho was sprawled out at Miku's feet. Victory by knockout with a right hook! Even after the ref said it, Miku could scarcely believe what had happened. She stood there in a daze for a while, and then Mizuho came stumbling over to her. "You got me," she said, fair and square. As soon as she saw the look of gratitude and respect on Mizuho's face, tears started dreaming? Come on. Streaming, I think, down Miku's cheeks. She tried to hold them back, but they just kept coming. "Hey now, only one of us gets to be the crybaby," Mizuho said, her voice husky with emotion. Tears had welled up in her eyes, too. The two clung to one another, weeping. "I'm so glad I was able to get a real match in the end," Mizuho whispered into Miku's ear. For several months after that, Miku defended her title. While she was warming up backstage one day, the manager came in, carrying a cardboard box. "Package for you, Miku." The sender was Mizuho. The box was packed full of oranges. Mizuho had quit the day after their title match. Evidently, she'd gone home to take over her family's farm. Miku peeled the skin off of one, pulled off a section, and ate it. The vibrant, striking, and bittersweet taste, so very reminiscent of their fight, filled her mouth like a little explosion. Yay! Did you enjoy our tale of femme fatales forging a friendship through fighting? Nice full iteration. Well then put up your dukes, because we've got some new info for you. In Minorikawa's story, in the 16 o'clock time block, Minorikawa takes a taxi to Heaven Publishing. He passes some strange writing on the road. Maybe take a closer look? Keep your eyes peeled and we'll see you next time. This game and its freaking riddles, man. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't get that ending stuff. I'll try it one more time.
第6問
Let's see what happens. One more time. But I'm still not sure if I'm supposed to unlock criteria for the epilogue. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. That was a whole lot of redundancy. Alright, next question.
第6問
Yanagishita is managing director of this company. I would not have remembered this one. Boom. First try every time. The day that Achi came... Oh, Suzumu Nishizawa versus Yoji Kiryu. The day that Achi came back to SOS... Oh, Meowington, there's a scene toward the end? Like, where toward the end? Like, how many scenes am I gonna watch? Like, there were like 5 or 6 epilogue blocks. I really don't feel like watching all of them. Like, where should I skip to? Alright, so the day that Achi came back to SOS, the day when, for the first time in a long while, SOS became whole again, let's go back 2 weeks before that fated reunion. The gang was in the midst of a minor quarrel, but we have to set a proper example. The pool hall fell silent at Kiryu's aggravated outburst. Provoking the new second-in-command was a fine way to wind up victim to the guillotine. And so the other gang members remained tight-lipped, warily looking on. Come on, Suzumu, you know I'm right. Meowington, the epilogue plays the same until near the end. Like, I saw the end. Or at least I scrolled to the text that said it. Suzumu didn't flinch under Kiryu's glare. Wait, watch the Kano one? What Kano one? Like, there's no Kano anything in the epilogue. Oh, you mean the Kano part of the epilogue where they're cheering or whatever? I don't know where that is. So set an example of what? All you want to do is get rowdy because you feel like it. Look, just step aside. I've got business with that little punk behind you. Behind Suzumu was a skinny teenager, barely more than a boy. He wore a look of abject terror, like a rabbit caught in a lion's gaze. What exactly is so fun about finding different excuses to terrorize your friends? Suzumu asked. Kiryu snickered mockingly, then grinned. Huh, good question. Guess it's cool, messing with guys who joined up with SOS after I did. The conflict, as usual, had started more or less over nothing. Each night, the members of SOS gathered at their pool hall in Uraharajuku. There was no set meetup time or anything like that. Around the time the place was teeming with other gang members, Kiryu would turn up. Suzumu generally appeared shortly afterward. Oh, the third one? Alright, thanks. I wish I'd known that earlier, because I checked the last one and the first 2, and there's just nothing. But today, the last person to show up had been the kid Suzumu was currently shielding. As the young fellow quietly took a seat, Kiryu had suddenly blown his top. The hell you think you're doing? The kid froze with fear at the ferocious shout, but his cringing demeanor only poured more fuel onto the fire. Whoever shows up last has got to apologize, you know? As Kiryu reached for his favorite makeshift wooden cudgel, Suzumu had interposed himself. Suzumu, are you seriously trying to tell me that SOS doesn't have a proper pecking order? That's not what I'm saying. Suzumu continued to stare Kiryu down. But what's it matter? You don't understand anything anyway. Kiryu suddenly rolled up his right sleeve, then sat down and set his elbow on the table, his right hand raised and open like a claw. Want to settle this with a show of strength? A glimmer of challenge shone in Kiryu's eyes. You're on. Suzumu sat down opposite him. Planting his own elbow on the table, he reached across and clasped hands with Kiryu. Kiryu squeezed back as if threatening to crush Suzumu's palm in his fingers. If I win, he said, you let me do what I want. Someone stepped out of the crowd to act as a referee. It was one of Kiryu's cronies. At once, the bar was gripped with excitement, as if a championship game were on the line. Waste that punk, Suzumu! Come on, Suzumu, you could do it! The leader had a strong showing of support from the crowd. You got this, Kiryu! But the upstart's backing section wasn't exactly small either. Heh, looks like we got him all worked up, Kiryu said. He picked up an empty beer bottle with his free hand and smashed it against the edge of the table. Shards of broken glass littered the tabletop between their arms. This ought to make things more interesting. Yeah, I bet it will. The referee leaned in, giving the pair's tightly clasped hands a quick tap. Ready, and go! The competitors' biceps bulged. Both men started to shudder visibly. Their arms seemed locked in place, neither giving way. Kiryu flashed a broad, leering grin, a vein popping out against his temple. Man, you really are a wuss. You ain't leader material. You think so, huh? Suzumu answered through gritted teeth. If you don't keep him on a tight leash, SOS will fall apart once it's finally gotten big enough. Kiryu grunted as he started to bend Suzumu's arm downward. You thick or something? Whoever said anything about SOS getting bigger, Suzumu replied. He struggled to force his arm back up. The walls echoed with the sound of people cheering Suzumu's name. Bolstered by their support, he mustered up his last reserve of strength. But still, his arm would not move. Kiryu's grip held him like a vice. At the best you can do? Some leader you are. Then Kiryu put all of his strength into his arm. Suzumu's knuckles thudded against the table. Thin shards of glass stabbed into the back of his hand. Yeah! Kiryu let out a triumphant cry of victory. Cradling his bloodied hand, Suzumu grimaced back at him. Well, that settles it. Fair and square. Now I'm gonna teach that kid a lesson. Once more, Kiryu reached for his cudgel. The young fellow tried to bolt away. Stop right there, Suzumu called after him. Ha ha ha! You finally come around then, Suzumu, Kiryu asked. He twirled the piece of wood around as he sauntered slowly toward his prey. You stop right there too, Kiryu, Suzumu added. Kiryu paused in his tracks. Hey, what gives? The kid tilted his head questioningly. Apologize to Kiryu, Suzumu said. The youngster blinked in disbelief. I said apologize, Suzumu repeated. Yeah, okay. The kid bowed his head deeply. I'm sorry, Kiryu. That should settle things, right, Kiryu? Kiryu went red in the face. What the hell, man? Are you kidding me? Enraged, he stepped forward to swing his club at the kid. I told you to stop. Suzumu drove his bloodied fist right into Kiryu's face. There, he snapped as Kiryu staggered backward. I think that's enough violence for one day. The look on his face was nothing short of blood-curdling. If that's still not enough for you, next up we can settle things with our fists. Once again, he and Kiryu were staring daggers at each other. With a click of his tongue, Kiryu was the first to look away. Alright. I'll back off for today. Tossing aside his club, he stomped out of the bar. So, thank you so much, murmured the kid apologetically. His gaze was fixed on Suzumu's hand. Even as he told the kid not to worry about it, Suzumu could feel doubt welling up like a storm inside him. Kiryu had said, for today. At some point, the two of them really were going to wind up coming to blows, and Suzumu couldn't lose that fight. No matter how tough Kiryu was, Suzumu wasn't going to let him become leader of the gang. Especially not considering who it was who put Suzumu in that position in the first place. With a newfound determination, he clenched his injured fist, even as the blood continued to stream down. Damn, that's intense. Did you enjoy our tale of a heated showdown between two rivals? Well then get ready for some fancy footwork, because here comes some sweet new info. In Minorikawa's story, in the 12 o'clock time block, the journalist flags down the man from the knick-knack shop as he's passing on his bicycle. Try waiting until after the background slips away and you'll see what happens. Have fun looking and we'll see you next time. Okay, Meowington, once the credits play, keep going and watch the movie attached after the car scene. God damn it, like, really? There is nothing that hints at this. Again, I should not be able to skip if I haven't seen it before. I'll do one more pop quiz thing because this is leaving a bad taste in my mouth. I told you I shouldn't be able to skip. Alright, the 22nd performance by the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. Okay, this is question number 7, I think it is. Okay. Oops. Boom. Doing it. Oh, this guy, Shinosuke Orai. If I had to compare it to something, it would be gum stuck to the bottom of a shoe. I, Shinosuke Orai, first came across the Impulse when I was young. It's good that you got to see this when you were still little, my parents said to me. We had gone to see one of Shakespeare's 4 great tragedies, King Lear. The material was a bit difficult for me at my age. Even so, the dazzling sets, the sublime music, and the true-to-life acting struck me to the very core. How amazing it all was. To think that something like this existed in the world. It was a setting I wanted to hurl myself into. I wanted to move others with the same impulse that had moved me. From then on, these thoughts were never far from my mind. And then, when I was in 2nd grade, I made my debut as a stage director. When the school was deciding the program for the arts festival, I eagerly proposed King Lear. Dragon Ace, this was the guy Minorikawa was interviewing and insulting, like he was the guy running that stage troupe. The rest of my class was, of course, rather flabbergasted, but as no other suggestions were put forth, Lear was chosen. That's insane. 2nd grade King Lear? No one's gonna understand anything. I raised my hand to volunteer as director. Since the rest of the class was unsure what a director even was, no one raised any objections. It was my directorial debut. I poured my heart and soul into it. Little did I realize that I had started down a road of hardship. Yeah, we had 10 days for... 10 days? Good luck, dude. It's like a 5-act play. We had 10 days for rehearsal before the opening. Why don't you know your lines? I told you that you had to have them memorized by today. Dude, nobody is memorizing these lines. Sorry, I forgot. You forgot? You think that's going to cut it? I lashed out at a classmate who had yet again dropped his lines when we were already well into the rehearsal. How someone could fail to remember 3 measly lines was beyond me. Thinking back now, I've encountered an awful lot of actors over the years who simply refuse to listen to what their director tells them. What makes them so reluctant to faithfully follow directions? Are you really okay with the prospect of flubbing your lines during the actual performance? Yeah, right, Dragon Ace? You chose like 5 minutes of King Lear? Yeah, I guess? You could say them yourself. I'm busy. The only thing you're busy with is TV and games. The class suddenly fell silent. A 2nd grader saying this? I leaned back, sneering at them. A few of the girls began whispering to one another. Ugh, look at him acting all high and mighty when he's not even class rep. Yeah, he's not a teacher. He can't go around telling everyone what to do. Everyone hates the director. I learned that from the television programs I watched to learn more about drama. The director would pelt the actors and backstage crew with vitriol, toss out absurd instructions without compunction, and even hurl ashtrays across the stage. It was a job to perform without mercy. Directors don't lash out because they're bad people, mind you, but you have to be something of an ogre in order to assure that both you and the audience are satisfied when the curtain falls, to attain the sense of accomplishment that comes from true artistic achievement. Enough of the yammering! In my rage, I searched around for an ashtray in 2nd grade. They don't keep those in elementary school classrooms, however, so instead I grabbed and hurled the nearest pencil case. It's not authentic unless it's an ashtray, dude. Sorry, it's over. It's only natural for a born director to behave with such intensity. No sooner had I thrown the case, however, than the homeroom teacher snatched me by the scruff of my neck. Yeah. Before long, I was in the staff room getting a lecture crammed down my throat. Then I was made to return to the classroom and apologize to everyone. You're damn right. Still, I had not lost my passion for a successful production of King Lear. I would not be disheartened by such a minor setback. At rehearsal after school the following day, the teacher addressed us. In order to take some of the burden off of young Mr. Ori here, everyone will direct the production together. Yes, ma'am, the class replied as one. It was beyond absurd. Naturally, I was vehemently opposed to the idea. Democracy has no place in the world of art. The enjoyment comes from a clash of individuals who excel in their given roles, each refusing to compromise one iota. But the teacher would have none of it. It's all well and good to take this seriously, but we don't want a repeat of what happened yesterday. Let's all be friends, alright? Let's be friends? Did she think that fine art could be created by being friends? I could only grimace at such a laughable misconception. And so began our new rehearsal system. We would practice a scene, and then everyone would offer their opinions about it. You need to look at the person you're speaking to, I railed angrily. Where you look is important. Others chimed in from all around. Oh, what does it matter where you look? What if we tried reciting our lines while jumping? Say, I'm playing a tree. Can I have some dialogue too? I'm trying to figure out if it needs more yikes or more ta-da. Nobody could tell at this point whose instructions they should follow. From the very outset, it was chaos. Everyone just said whatever they wanted. There's no way I'm holding hands with a boy. This costume looks dumb. How about something more, like, superhero-y? Give me a new part. I should play the lead. Taste the wrath of the mighty Cornwall Slash. Vrow! Pew pew pew! Ba-boom! Stop all the rambling. Stick to the script. My anger had finally boiled over. We're all supposed to offer our opinions, though, right? Yeah, alright. Quit your belly aching. You're such a bellyacher. Bellyacher, bellyacher, bellyacher. This mad whirlwind, which no one in their right mind would call rehearsal, continued for days. A whole week passed. At last, Once everyone had finally realized that the new approach was getting us nowhere, I was reinstated as the play's sole director. There wasn't much time left before the main event. Never before had I thrown so much gusto into the craft. What's with that monotone? You need to put more feeling into it. You're not reading from a textbook. I was not one to go easy on my actors. But I'm shy. No excuses. You're not bringing enough realism to the part. You need to give it more oomph. Okay, fine, I'll try. Thanks to my fierce directing, the others had improved, bit by bit. With just a little more patience, a truly grand sense of accomplishment could be ours. At long last, I was sensing a real response to my work. And then it all changed. The boy who was playing the back half of the horse suddenly took down his pants. His underwear came down next, then he squatted down on the spot. Oh no. His brow creased with the strain of effort. He was really doing this. The entire class flew into an uproar at this rather sudden development. Girls ran away, boys broke out laughing, the teacher rushed in unthinkingly to cut both hands under the young fellow's backside, ew, and I just stood there, dumbstruck. Once everything had finally calmed down, I went to talk to him. Jeez, what a horse's ass! What were you thinking? I demanded. You said you wanted more realism, so I figured the horse should take a dump. I had no words. That sure counts as real, all right, someone called out. The class erupted in raucous laughter. The energy drained from me in an instant, and I collapsed to the floor. Real? Was that what real meant on the stage? I couldn't deny that taking a dump qualified, from a certain perspective. The bowel movement itself had definitely been genuine. It had been live. It gave a certain ambience. Was that wrong? It hadn't been the kind of realism I'd been after. I'd been hoping for something else, for a sense of tension that went beyond mere fabrication, that expressed the clashing of life's various emotions. In my confusion, I clutched my head. Was this how my art was to fall apart? You stupid amateur! Before I knew it, I had blown my top, launching into a wild rant. I don't recall what happened next. I didn't recover right away and wound up missing school for a while. The school arts festival went on without me. I heard it was well received. What is art? What is drama? What is man? A miserable pile of... What is the world? Whenever I try to ask and answer these questions, I always think back to that experience. Back when I was young. If I had to compare it to something, it would be gum stuck to the bottom of a shoe. No, an AM radio broadcast, washed out with static. No, a cut of meat that's been steamed for too long. No, perhaps more like a sodden doormat. No, maybe it's like, yes, it's something like a love letter, written in the dead of night. Wow. Did you enjoy our tale of artistic agony? Well, if you're serious about the craft, we've got some good information for you. In Kano's story, in the 12 o'clock time block, Cano and Sasayama chase after the kidnapper. Try waiting on that scene for a while and see what happens. Have fun with that. And see you next time. Okay. Weird. I actually quite like that episode thing. Meowington, you're telling me that in the Maria section, I get a choice to shoot Alphard?
第8問、さあどうだ?
I'll give it a token glance, but I am out of patience for this epilogue thing. Like, for the 100th time, this ending is not activating. I don't know how to activate it. Like, I mean, the choices are there, but there's gotta be some prerequisite. So at this point, I'll hit up a save icon. Oh, which means I don't need to do that. I want to do this. There's my save icon. Got the save icon. Anyway, we at least got to see some alternate endings and some pop quiz stuff, but this is where I'm going to call it. So thank you very much for joining the stream, and have a wonderful night.